topic I will address today is the impact of medical coding on AI and vice versa, the impact of AI on medical coding. The question I was asked to address today are these ones. I submitted them all to ChatGPT and I got the answers. So I added some new insights and I checked again everything with ChatGPT. So you can say that my presentation is a fully validated ChatGPT presentation. First of all, what is the meaning of medical coding? Medical coding is standardization, as has been said. That means that medical concepts or one medical concept can be described in many ways in different languages and within the same language with many different synonyms. So we come from many to one. And so the variance is reduced, which is good for AI. Medical coding is used especially for reimbursement because obviously the same care should have the same reimbursement. There are many different systems and every country has its own system and even more than one system of code systems. So there is a variety of code systems. We have a lot of languages, but we have also a lot of code systems. The most used system in the world is the International Classification of Diseases of the World Health Organization. That's for sure. And now, not recently, but in 2008, most European countries joined SNOMED-CT and accepted SNOMED-CT as the standard for all medical issues in a medical record and for clinical research and so on. So the clinical findings, medication, procedures, and the outcome. That means that in Europe, aside of International Classification of Diseases, SNOMED is the only one which is really broadly translated in the different countries. Now, if we look at the actual way of coding, it is that medical coders are manually reading the text and then putting the codes. So we need an army of coders to have the work done. It's time-consuming and expensive. In Belgium, we pay more or less 100 million euro per year for all the coding of medical codes in Belgium. And it's slow, so you have to wait sometimes weeks or months before you get the coding done. And more important even is the bias in most of the coding. Because the coding is used for financing and reimbursement, there is a lot of bias, and we can estimate the bias in Belgium over optimization to 1 billion euro, between 1 billion and 2 billion euro per year. So there are two main drawbacks. It's time-consuming, 100 million per year for Belgium, and it's biased, a loss of 1 to 2 billion euro for wrong codes. Now, how is AI now used in medical coding? As I said, manual coding, somebody has to read what has been done or what is the situation of the patient. So you always start with a medical report or the medical record in different languages. Then the computer will read the reports, the text, what we call parsing. That's what parsing is. And then the AI will work with it and will try to make the combinations with the different medical coding systems. And we have a lot of them. Now, you can see already that this is not so easy for AI because AI has to learn how text, what it means. And so you need big annotated data. That means text with manual codes so that AI can make the match between both. But that's not so easy in medicine. First of all, we have the different languages, and you have within one language, the language variance. So the more variance you have, the more data you need. And we have the problem of privacy. So that makes it really difficult to have AI coding or helping the manual coding as we know it now. This is ChatGPT. So I submitted this idea to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT made this of it. It's a extremely complex exponential combination of different associations. So it's almost impossible to do that. Therefore, we need to simplify things and standardize. And as I said, SNOMED is the coding system which is accepted all over the world, I would say. It's very detailed. It's translated in many languages, most of the European languages, it's translated. So it's a very good candidate to convert text to SNOMED post-coordinate, and I will explain what that means. So it's very important. And doing so, you get anonym data. The medical record becomes anonym because you have coded data. There's no text anymore. You don't know who the patient is. And so you can link at that point in time your SNOMED codes with different coding system which are used. This is an example. So maybe the steps are terminology. It's a dictionary, it's translation. All the words are translated in SNOMED. Then you have the parsing. The computer reads the text. And he knows the terminology, the dictionary. He's looking in the dictionary and he replaces words with codes. That's what we call tokenization. And then AI is working to make the link between the SNOMED codes and the target codes. This is an example of acute. You see, there are many ways to say acute, aigu, in French, in German, in the Netherlands, in Dutch. And it's an atomic code. What does it mean? It's a code you cannot define anymore. It is what it is. And that's in contrast with composed or complex codes. That means it's one code. We call it pre-coordinated. Like for medication, this medication has one code to define tenormin, tenoritic. But it's a complex concept because tenormin 100 is a drug, it's a tablet with atenolol with 100 milligram in it. And so you can define these pre-coordinated or complex concepts in atomic concepts in SNOMED. And that's the importance for AI. This is a good example. You can see that AI is very easy to know that bradycardia is related to atenolol, and hyperkalemia is related to chlorothalidone. If you want to have this correlation from the word, from the terms, for AI, it's much more difficult because it doesn't know what it means, so it's looking and it sees tenormin gives bradycardia. Okay, tenoritic also, more or less the same, etc. But if you do it in the post-coordinated way, an atomic way, it's very easy to make the links between the effects and the. Here's another example. Here you have the different languages, the acute appendicitis, appendicitis. ICD names it K35, ICPC2 D83, and SNOMED is this code, one pre-coordinated code. But in SNOMED, you can also say it's an acute information of the appendix. So it's a second way of defining the same. Or appendicitis with a sudden onset. Again, something. There's only one expression which is always true for everything. That is the post-coordinated one. It's a sudden onset inflammation of the appendix. But that's the real way data of the medical record should be defined. And from there, you can do the AI in an effective way. Actually, this SNOMED atomic code, you can compare them with pixels of an image. The atomic codes are the pixels which, putting together, will make a complex concept. And from there, if you do that, you can easily make the connection with the different coding systems. And I think my proposal would be that the medical record on eHealth, which is shared by everybody and who is accessible to the patient, that all these data of his own medical record would be SNOMEDized, tokenized, so that you have a text medical record and a code medical record. So you get a huge volume of codes which are language independent, and so you can make exact matches with the different systems. And a plus is that the patient can take profit of it, because for a clinical trial, for instance, if you say, is there a clinical trial for me? The POSCO will look into the definitions of the study protocols and will say, oh, look, these are potential studies for your medical record. Okay. Yeah. So let's, yeah, it's almost finished. Will medical coding get replaced by AI? Obviously, I'm sure it will, but it will take a long time. And it's especially a question of political will to do it. Very important is, and that's a message I would give, is that existing coding system will be replaced by AI-created system, which make the clustering, which is objective, where there are no assumptions, etc. So that's actually then for evidence-based medicine. The patient has a problem, he submits his medical record and his problem, he sees what can be done with the outcomes. He said, okay, I do that. You have new information, that information is added, and so you get a recursive AI treatment of patients.